Okay, good evening, everyone. It could be good morning wherever you are, or good afternoon, good day. You're all welcome to tonight's webinar. This is 8 p.m. in the UK, and I welcome you all to a special presentation on what we call Bitworld Centre. So very quickly, I'm going to go into the presentation, and we're going to discover some opportunities for all. As we go along, this presentation is being recorded, so if anyone is joining later, they will still have the opportunity to replay, and it will be also uploaded so that everyone can benefit from the presentation. So very quickly, I'd like to lay a few foundations about Bitworld Centre. Bitworld Centre is actually changing lives around the world. They are a global company, and they are actually online. And so sometimes people ask, can I go to their office, or do they have a branch in my country? They do not have branches in all the 89 countries where they are operating at the moment, but their head office is actually in Brazil, and I am sure they have a few places where they have local offices, but that's very, very few compared to the number of countries that they are operating in. So as you can see on my screen, they are currently in 89 countries, still counting. They've got thousands of users. People have become members of Bitworld around the globe. A lot of transactions have taken place, and they've also been able to create leaders amongst the teams as well. So this is very new. They started in February 2018. So we're talking about how many months ago now? Roughly like 6 months or thereabouts that they started. Okay. So just to lay a few foundations to why Bitworld, why am I coming to you with an opportunity? Why am I presenting to you the company Bitworld? Now, I personally have a philosophy that if there is any opportunity, I need to see how it actually fits into my future plans and how it fits into how I make money, because there are different ways of making money. Many years ago, I had the opportunity to read a book which is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know how many of us have actually also read this book, but it's actually an eye-opener to how cash flows. Everyone has a form of cash flow. If you don't have cash flow, then you're actually stuck. There's nothing you can really do. So you will have to be making money somehow. But we all make money differently. So looking at this quadrant, it just spells out the different ways people make money. So you can see there are four quadrants here. We have to my left, you will see the employee and the self-employed. And then to my right, we have the business owner and the investor. A lot of people are employees today. A lot of people are also self-employed. Not many people are business owners, and not many people are investors. But at some point in our lives, we might be combining the four of it, but we need to actually have an understanding of where we want to actually land eventually. So my philosophy is, even if you're an employee, there's nothing wrong in actually being an employee. I'm not part of people who usually say it's not good to work for people. I believe that there's a lot of experience that we gather when we work for others, and also we train ourselves. We develop ourselves to actually, get up and be responsible before you can expect to actually run your own business. But there are some downsides and disadvantages of being an employee, so we don't want to be an employee for life. Some of the characteristics of this quadrant is that you have to work very hard for your money. It's the hours that count. You have to either work 7 days a week. Some people have to combine 2-3 jobs in some countries to actually make ends meet. And so it's referred to as a rat race. You get home at silly hours, you wake up at silly hours, and you're always, on the go because you have to make money. Many of the income that you receive is already taxed before you even start spending. A lot of employees end up with credit cards just to meet their targets and to pay their bills. And so many employees are in debt. Many employees are dealing with a huge number of bills, and there is no time, no freedom You know, when people say, oh, can you come to, we're going for a party, they're thinking, I'm not sure whether I can make that, because they have to go and take up extra hours. So that's sort of the lifestyle of an employee. And so we refer to it as active income. You have to be able to exchange your time for the money. And so some people feel that, okay, instead of working for others, I feel like I'm slaving away. Let me do the other thing, which is self-employment. Well, they're not so much different. I can tell, because I've been there before. I've been self-employed as well. You probably work more hours. It's like there's no closing hours. You know, you wake up early in the morning, and until you are unable to keep your eyes open, then you go to bed, because you want to make, you know, maximum use of the time to make sure that your business is working. You don't have security. There's no security. If you fall ill, the business is actually closed. Or if anything happens even to the business, there is no guarantee that it's going to work. There are so many shops on the high street that have started, maybe they opened maybe 1 month ago, or they opened 2 years ago, and then suddenly you see them putting up the post closing down their sales. It's because it's not working, and that's a risk that self-employed people have to take. It might not work. So they work very hard for their money, and eventually it's still called a job, because what they have is not a business. They actually own a job. So people who are self-employed sometimes mix it up and think that they have a business. It's very different. If you run a corner shop, you know, you run a provision store, or you're running a news agent store. Some people are running something like it could be as long as you are the person who is almost doing your accounts, you're doing the sales, you're also doing you're the receptionist, you're the one that picks the calls, you're the one doing the sales. At the end of the day, you are actually self-employed. You are not a business owner. So from this left side of the quadrant, we find out that it's not the best way to make money. And even if that is how you are making money now, your dream is that you can move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant. So that's why many people are looking for, what business can I do? Because they know that if they can run a business, a proper business, they will have time freedom. So the business owner is working smart. They are trying to free up time by getting other people. So they employ others so that they can free up time. You find a director coming into their place of work at 11 o'clock. That's because every other person has to be there by 9 a.m. And so they can still take their children to school. You know, they can do some shopping, and then they leave early as well. At 4 o'clock, they can say bye-bye, and off they are to go and have a nice time with their friends. So there's passive income as well for them. They don't actually have to be part of the business for the business to run. Think about franchises. People who buy up franchises, they don't actually have to be part of the business. If you buy up maybe something like McDonald's or KFC, you don't have to be a waiter in your own business. You don't even have to be the manager. You can employ a manager to run it. So a business owner can free up time. So we see in this quadrant that you own a system and people are working for you. So that's business. Whilst there is still a last quadrangle that is very, very important, which is the investors quadrangle. This is where Bitworld is relevant to us. So we're not running a business, we are investors. And this investment quadrangle is so lovely. I can tell you it's the sweetest of all, because you can make plenty of money. And here you're not exchanging your time for money. What you're exchanging for money is your money. So your money is doing the work for you. You can have time freedom, you know, you can have, and you can multiply your efforts, because you are not the one actually making the money work. And so you're thinking of, how can I'm still an employee, but I also want to be an investor. The more I can invest, I can free up time. And then if I am working 50 hours now, if I am able to invest more, I can reduce my employment hours to maybe half. So that's why we're talking about, it's not about shifting completely, but you can actually combine different parts of the quadrangle so that you can be much more balanced, and you can have time freedom, and you can also have money without working hard for it. So this is the objective of Bitworld Centre, and this is why I'm interested, and I'm interested in sharing this opportunity with you, because a lot of us, 24 hours is no longer enough to do the things that we want to do. So you can't even pick up another job. Some people want to run a business but their job has taken all the time from them. So Bitworld Center is offering us an opportunity to make our own money work hard for us. So I said, I'm going to talk about why Bitworld Centre, and these are just a few reasons why I think Bitworld Centre would work for you. It can make you wealthy. You would meet new people. You're going to enjoy more time freedom. If you work it the way you should, you find out that you can free up some hours that you're working and decide, okay, I don't want to do full time anymore. I want to go part-time. There are some people who have started Bitworld. The person who introduced me into the business, he does not work for anyone anymore. He has actually gone full-time on Bitworld. So you can actually enjoy time freedom from Bitworld Center. You can experience personal development. There's so much to learn. There are a lot of tools that you might not be aware of that can make your life easier. For example, we are using the WhatsApp group for a lot of things, and I found it to be very, very useful. There are some buttons I didn't even know on WhatsApp that I suddenly discovered because I'm using it for Bitworld. And there are other tools that I'm planning to learn to develop myself as well. So even putting a PowerPoint presentation together, for me, it's personal development as well. So these are things we learn in the course of doing businesses like this, like Bitworld. You can achieve financial freedom. You can own your own business. So I'll talk about how you can move from being an investor with Bitworld, and you can also turn it to be your own business. Help other people succeed. Most of the time, if you want to go far, you need to take some people along with you. The more people that you help to succeed, the greater your own success and impact that you'll be making. Bitworld can also help you to retire to passive income. If you actually have investments and your investment is actually paying your bills, it means you're no longer having to exchange your time for money. And so your investment is actually paying your bills. At this point, it means that you're actually earning passive income, and your income is no longer active as it is in the employee and the self-employed quadrants. And you can leave a legacy. I love, the scripture that talks about a man leaving riches and inheritance for his children's children. We don't want to pass on, and then even at our grave, they are looking for money to bury, and all sorts of things like that, which happens to some families. But with Bitworld Center, if you actually look into the system, you can see that you can create wealth and leave a legacy even for your children's children. So that's why I am interested in Bitworld Center, because it actually offers all of this and more. So about Bitworld, I'm just going to give us a little introduction, which I have done, letting us know that they are a global company. This company is actually formed of a team of professionals. They are traders, so they actually trade in cryptocurrency, and they are also miners as well. So if you haven't actually delved much into cryptocurrency, it's not a big deal, but not many people can take a risk of actually doing it themselves. But here we are with professionals who know what they are doing, and they have decided to actually create a system where they can extend the opportunities and create affiliates. So you know the way you can sign up and be like an affiliate to a particular product, things like maybe it could be creams, it could be food, it could be anything. Even this Zoom platform that we are using, you can suddenly decide, okay, I want to be referring it to others so that I can earn something. So any company that offers you an opportunity to be an affiliate where you can earn referral bonuses, they've actually extended their earning opportunities to the public. And that's what Bitworld Center have done. They've not kept it to themselves that, okay, we know how to trade, and we'll trade and make the money by ourselves. They've opened it up and said other people can be affiliates. What you're doing is you're bringing in money into the pool, and they are investing with it, and then the profit is being shared. So the CEO of Bitworld Center is known as Marcio Silva. He is a businessman. Reading and researching about him, I found out that he's got so many years of experience in network marketing, and he's also achieved so much, especially in the year 2015. There's a record that actually shows that within himself and his team, they earned $2 million in 1 year. So if people can, $2 billion. So if someone can actually build a business and actually create an income of $2 billion, they sure must know what they are doing, and they can only get better at what they are doing. So that's the CEO of the company. And as I said, they are into trading and it's digital currencies. Now, there are quite a number of digital currencies in the world today. So when we say digital currency, we don't only refer to Bitcoin, but there are others as well. So the company has been able to put together, good IT staff. They created a high-tech software that can automate cryptocurrency trading. And their operations are actually quite transparent. You find out that every single day, when they share their profits, your money is actually cleared into your Bitworld account automatically. So they have created a system that works, and they are working with qualified traders, that have the opportunity to analyze the market. So they are able to analyze the market in real time and produce the profits because there's a pool of money that they are working with. Okay, so what is Bitcoin? That's a very common cryptocurrency, maybe the first actually that everyone knows. It's the world's first encrypted digital currency, and it was published in 2008. The initiation or the mining started actually in 2009, and it's been expanding ever since. So when you do your research, you find out that Bitcoin is actually a new development. Just like internet came to be, it's a new kind of currency. The only difference is that it is decentralized. So there is no government, or bank that is controlling this coin. And because this Bitcoin is decentralized, is a decentralized currency, its creation is controlled by your algorithm. So it's not controlled by a bank. So for example, somebody actually sends Bitcoin to another recipient and they couldn't get it. You can't say, okay, I'll go to my bank and I'll find out what happened to it. So that's the downside of Bitcoin. It's not controlled by any bank or any government. But the good thing is that by the time you look at the exchange rates and when you're sending Bitcoin, it's very, very low fee. The charges are very, very low. In the past, when you actually have to do international banking, there's a lot of charges that go with it. Bitcoin has actually been able to beat this kind of charges at a very, very minimal rate. So you will find out that if you check it out, maybe in the country where you reside, there are now ATMs for instant conversions from Bitcoin to your currency. So you can actually go to a Bitcoin ATM machine and you can actually go into your own Bitcoin wallet and withdraw cash. So that is the world that we are going into with digital currency. So sometimes people just say, oh, I don't want to know. It's like saying I don't want to have an email. Very soon, it will be everybody has a Bitcoin account or a cryptocurrency account. So that's where the world is moving to. And we are opportuned to be a part of a company that we can be educated and we can know ahead of time what to expect with regards to cryptocurrency. I'm learning a lot from this business, from this company, and I'm happy that I'm no more ignorant. At the beginning of the year, when people were saying there's something called Bitcoin, I didn't even know what they're talking about. Apparently, this has been since 2008. This is 2018, 10 years ago, And so it helps us not to be ignorant anymore. So the way the Bitcoin works, you will be able to understand it when you open your own Bitcoin wallet. And this is actually independent of Bitworld. So your own Bitcoin wallet is like saying, oh, I open a bank account and then I put my money there. So you can open a Bitcoin wallet and put your Bitcoin there. And that's not controlled by Bitworld. That's controlled by you. So at the time when you take a step to say, I want to do something, I want to invest, you'll be opening your own Bitcoin wallet. That's what we refer to it. And we will show you how to do that and also how to operate your Bitcoin wallet. All right, so there's not only Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, there's Litecoin, there's Dash, there's Zcash, there's Monero. That is just a few. To my amazement, there are more than 700 coins in the world available to buy and sell every day. And so we shouldn't be ignorant. These people are not only trading with Bitcoin, because sometimes people ask me, but there's a postulation that the Bitcoin might drop. Or, they're hearing that there are quite a number of things that are going to happen in terms of the price that is coming down and all things like that. It's not only Bitcoin that they trade in other coins as well. And so they are professionals. They know what they are doing, and they would let us know. So that's why even the fact that we are being paid with Bitcoin, it is stated somewhere in their contract that they can also pay us with a different cryptocurrency as well. Okay. So there is also the emergence of Africa Coin, and Bitworld is happy to announce to us that they are in the process of also working towards an Africa Coin. So we will hear more about that as well. So now we hear more of Bitcoin, but there will be a time when you would also hear about the Africa Coin. And if it's going to be a major coin that we will trade with as well, we will hear about. I've done some research on it, and I can see that there's a lot going on about the Africa Coin. What it just means is that or the whole of Africa has a common coin, that cryptocurrency that they spend, which I think Africa is a very large continent and they should have their own coin, which is a good step in the right direction. Okay. All right. So I've said a lot about Bitworld Centre. Now let's talk about what they have to offer us. So I have said that they've opened the platform and given us the opportunity to become athletes, which is great. That's the reason why I'm here. If they didn't give us an opportunity, we wouldn't be part of their business. So they have a reward system for those that decide to actually invest in cryptocurrency with them. There are 5 different kinds of payouts. And so as you can see on my screen, you will see cash out, direct and indirect referrals, or they call it reference, and then binary bonus, residual bonus, and career plan. And I'm just going to give us a summary of what that actually means to us and what it means to our pocket actually, because we want to know what does that really mean. So the first level is actually being able to invest. Okay. So you have 300% profit to make in 135 days. Some people have asked me, oh, am I going to be getting paid on my investment infinitely? No, it's not infinitely. If it's infinitely, you should be afraid of such a company. Where are they going to be getting the money from? So in 135 days, you are going to receive 2.2% on your investment every single day, and it's a fixed rate. So I have just put on the side here what the different packages are, as you can see on my screen. And in 300, and the 300%, what it actually translates to. So in 135 days, if you invest $25, you should come out with $75 in total after 135 days. With $50 is $150, 100 is 300, 250. So as you can see, it's times 3. That's what the 300% really means. So with $500 at the end of 135 days, you earn 1,500. Now the brilliant part of it is you don't have to wait till the end of 135 days to actually withdraw your money. You can begin to withdraw your money as you go. So you enjoy the benefits of your investment from the day one, actually. Okay. So this is just a breakdown of the different packages and the names that they are called. You will get familiar with it as you go back on the webinar later to listen to it. You can actually pause the video at this point and look at what the cost of each package is and decide which one will make sense and how much you're going to make as a result of each of these packages. This is a breakdown of the daily investment, the daily return on your investment. So if you are a partner on the partner package and you're investing $25, every day they'll be paying you 55 cents as your daily 2.2 on your investment. For example, premium is $1,000 investment. You get $22 every single day for 135 days, which will sum up to the 3,000 that you would earn in 135. If you want to look at how much is coming in weekly, that's the column to total it up to say, okay, in a week, if I'm putting in $500, I make $77 every week till the end of the 135 days. If it's monthly, you want to have an idea of how much you can make monthly, you look at the column for the monthly and you can say, okay, I want to be able to make $1,320 every month. That means I need to go for the black package, which means if I invest $2,000 Every day I will get $44. At the end of the month, I will have $1,320. That's already somebody's monthly income. Think about if you can do the black two, 4,222, $4,224 every month. So this is the first level of advantage, the first level of benefits that you enjoy. Without referring anybody to the business, this is your investment program, and this is how you cash out on Bitworld. So you don't have to refer anybody. Your cash out will be released daily. So you don't have to wait maybe a week before you see your cash out. It's released to you daily, and it can be withdrawn. So somebody who is earning $140, they can withdraw it daily if they want to. Okay. So I've done a breakdown myself in a table to make it even much more clearer. So for every package, what you would notice is that there is an addition of a $10. This is what we refer to as an activation fee. So if you choose 25, you will actually be paying 35 to start with. If you choose the $50 package, you will be paying $60. I thought it's important to actually break it down so that you know exactly how much it's going to cost you. But even if it's $1,000, it's $10, and if it's $25, it's $10. It's just an activation fee for every member joining the company. This is your daily rate, your return on investment. This is how much you make on any of the packages. You can tell how much you'll be earning daily. And you know, I've done the calculation that when do I actually make back my capital? So if I invest $1,000, by the end of 45 days, I would have made $990 by the time they pay me $22 every single day. So the cutoff point for the 135 days, you can think of between 45 and 50 days, you're already in profit. You would have made back your investment, no matter, even if you started with 6,400 or 12,800, on the 45th day, you've already broken even. The remaining 90 days is complete profit. So people ask me, what is the risk, Abby, if I put my money here? I tell them the risk is just 45 days. I'm not going to tell you that there is no risk, but that's really what the risk is. It's 45 days. If you can break even from 45 days, the rest of it is actually profits. Okay. So I've also put a table together for the Nigerian currency, which is in Naira, because I do get questions to say, how much is it in Naira? You know, and I don't trade in Naira, I trade in pounds. So, but there are quite a number of Nigerians who want to know how much it is in Naira. So you can pause the video later and have a look at how much it is you would need to invest, how much you'll be making daily, weekly, monthly, as a result of any of the packages that you choose to go with. Okay. So the good thing is, I said you can withdraw your money anytime. Sometimes it takes up to 48 hours for the money to get to your Bitworld wallet. But from my experience, it's been taking me 2 to 3 hours and the money gets to my Bitcoin wallet. And from my Bitcoin wallet to my bank account, less than 24 hours. The other day I did it in the night. By 12 noon in the morning, I had already seen my money in my bank account. And this might vary from country to country, but at most, give it 48 hours, you should have your money in your bank account. The company has its own payment processor, and also they have a minimum withdrawal rate. So say, for example, when you start accruing, maybe you're on the $500 package, which is the silver package, and you're getting $11 every day. Once it is a week, so that's like 11 times 7, that's $77. You can withdraw your money in that week. For those who have chosen maybe a lesser package, that's fine. You just need to wait for it to accrue up to $75 at any given point in time, and you can withdraw your money. That's so that the system is not actually just juggled every time for $5, $10, you know, $15. Everybody is just withdrawing some amount. So for there to be a balance, the minimum withdrawal amount is $75. You would also notice that there is a 10% charge anytime you withdraw your money. This is part of the contract, and it doesn't really make any difference to me. I feel like if I've been able to leave the money, go to bed, go to sleep, and they are the ones processing everything, and I just need to click a few buttons and get my money out, there is an administration fee and cost to it, and so that the system can keep running. We don't want a company that is just going to crash. Hearing that there are actually administrative costs shouldn't put us, make us feel afraid or feel that they are taking money from us for no reason. It's simply an administrative charge. So I have put a screenshot of my back office so you have an idea of what happens every single day. So every day you would see your balance increasing. So say, for example, this is a account where I invested $500. So when you start your business, you would see $0 on this side, and then you will see the total amount you will earn in 135 days. So for me, this is $1,500. And because I've been withdrawing some of the money, even though I've accrued up to 701, this screenshot was taken on the 9th of July, so it would have increased from this amount. And I've been withdrawing, so that's why you see 266, that's the remaining there. And this is how much so far, and that's where I'm going. Now, I would like you to know that the 135 days can be accelerated if you choose to refer others, because when they pay you referral bonuses, it adds up quickly and you hit your 1,500 even quicker. So you can find out that your target, which is 1,500, you can hit it in 1 month, because if you are referring people, they will be adding up your referral bonuses, your daily earnings, everything will be adding up together in this side of the renovation. And once it hits 1,500, you have to restart your package. So that's how it works with Bitworld. So this is just to explain that all affiliates, when they reach the 300% of their earnings on any of the purchase package, you will have to renew. So it's not an everlasting, earning. Once it hits the 300%, even before the 135 days, maybe you've been involved in some network marketing, you've been referring people. Once it hits the 300%, you need to restart your package. As you will see the alert in your back office, you will know that you have reached it, and then just withdraw your money. If you don't want to restart it, that's fine, but if you want to restart, you just reinvest again, and that's how it works. So I've just explained to you the first level of opportunity that you have with Bitworld, which is the investment program. That does not involve any form of referral for you to earn that 2.2% daily for 135 days. However, there is also an additional thing that you can do to make money. So this is the business side of Bitworld. The first side was the investment side, which is direct referring or indirect. So when you refer somebody directly, you get 15% based on whatever package that they have. If the person is a second level to you, it will be 5%. And then up to the 8th level, you will be given 1.25% to the 8th level. So I'm assuming myself, I am somebody's first level. That person will get 15%. I am somebody's second level. That person will get 5% on my not on my earnings, but on my initial package. So for every package that someone signs up with, the company has made sure that they reserve 27.5% for bonuses. So for every package, there's a certain amount that is set aside because somebody must have referred you. What they have done is, instead of going on TV or instead of actually putting up adverts and paying for it, they are paying the members to actually spread the news. And I think that that's how much they might even spend more if they have to be advertising. So some people say, oh, is that not robbing Peter to pay Paul? That's not robbing Peter to pay Paul, because if I go to my hairdresser and she tells me that for every customer that you bring, I will give you 15% off your own hairstyle. How many people will you refer to your hairdresser so that you can get 15% off your next hairstyle? That is the same thing with Bitworld. Because you are referring people to them that they would never have got to know, they would never have known that person, they have decided to compensate you. So it has nothing to do with what people refer to sometimes as because sometimes people think that it's a way of just cycling money around. you can't cycle that kind of money around for long. You're going to close up. So this is like a bonus for you bringing the person, and based on the different packages, they set aside an amount. Okay, so the third level of benefits that you get from Bitworld Centre is what we refer to as binary bonus. This is 50% of your weaker leg. Now, this is something that I didn't really know much about when I started. So I waited for the system to actually calculate my binary bonus so I understand it. So what I would say to you is sometimes we ask a lot of questions, but we are not even yet experiencing it because we're not doing the things that will make us experience it. Binary bonus will only happen for those who are referring others. So if you're only investing, you wouldn't need to bother about binary bonus. But if you are referring people, automatically what the system will do is at 12 midnight, it says every day at 11:59 p.m. and 11:59 p.m. in Brazil is like 4 a.m. in the UK. So at every 4 a.m. in the UK, they will check their system, score the generated the different points from the two teams, and then they would give out 50% of the total volume generated with your team based on your lower value team. So that's something that you would see just happening overnight. You won't even know, and that's very good because I've seen a lot of binary bonuses in my back office, and I thought, wow, I didn't even know how that happens, but I can understand it better now because I've received quite a few. Okay, so that's how the structure is. Per day, the maximum binary bonus they can pay out is $5,000. That's to one person, actually. Okay, so there is another exciting part of Bitworld Centre, which is the recognition of leaders. And in any company, they should recognize people who are taking the forefront to actually do a great work. So for those who are doing a beautiful job with referring people, there's what they call a career pathway. And I'm just going to skim through this. It's based on the number of points. So your team will be generating points, and as the points are accruing, there are different rewards. So for this is bronze. Once you accrue 700 points, they'll give you $50. Silver, they give you $150, and it goes up. So there is a gold level that you can attain, and you will get these beautiful watches. There is the Ruby Awards. You get also this Apple Watch or the iPhone plus the iPhone 7. So they have put together some beautiful presents for those who are doing very, very well in the area of network marketing. It does take a lot to be a leader, and so they are actually giving rewards for leadership. So this is Safari, this is Emerald, this is for Diamond level, this is the Ambassador Awards level. You know, they get rewarded with cards, the President level, and the Emperor, which is the Porsche Carrera. So if it's something that drives you, you know, it's your passion, you like to actually win awards, you want to go on travels, you can also explore building a team and moving higher in the rankings so that you can have a career with Bitworld as well. Okay, so I'm rounding up now, and I'm just going to, you know, let you know that there's a reason why you are on this call. Some people think that you know, doing business is fun, or investing money. People who do it, they're not really they're not really making the best of choices. No, there's a reason why you're looking into this opportunity. And if your why is big enough, it will drive you to make the right decision. It will also drive you to actually find the money, because sometimes people say to me, well, I don't have money. I say, well, it means your why is not big enough, because if there's a reason why you are looking at it, it means you want to make more money, or maybe the method by which you're making money at the moment now, it's not the best, or you want to make money while you sleep as well as while you're working. So if your why is big enough, your how will definitely show up. I tell people there are two forces that drive you in life. It could be pain or it could be pleasure. And some of these pains sometimes, you know, they're in the area of debts. It could be that you've accrued, you know, you've amassed a lot of debts and you need to start reducing them. You need to start working on them. Then you need to look into something different apart from what you do. to earn money. It could be family needs. Your children are growing, they're entering university. You have parents you need to take care of. There are contributions you need to do in your church or in any other charity group or in society, and you need money to do these things. These are opportunities. This is an opportunity you can tap into, and you can never tell the amount of things you'll be paying, you'll be able to take away because you've joined Bitworld Centre. There are also pleasures. It doesn't have to be pain that drives you to Bitworld. It could be pleasure that is driving you to Bitworld. So you want to change your car, you want to be mortgage free, you want to go on holiday, you want to sponsor big, big projects, in charity projects, church projects. You want to, you want to take care of children that are not even born to you. Whatever those pleasures are, Bitworld can actually be an answer. So you want to become a millionaire. A lot of people have been able to make 6 figures and 7 figures within the short period of time that they joined Bitworld. So Bitworld is an answer to that if that's the kind of pleasure you're looking at. And if you just want to, become wealthy to the extent that, you can even be on the Forbes rich list, yes, you can take advantage of investments like Bitworld to do this as well. So this is just a summary of what we've been talking about today. We've discussed why Bitworld Centre, and we've discussed how to make 300% returns on your investment in 135 days. You've discovered that there is so much money to make through digital assets. You don't have to have the know-how, the knowledge, but you can piggy bank on Bitworld and actually use their expertise to make this money. You can also make your 300% returns in less than 135 days by actually getting involved in referrals. So if you refer people, you would make your money faster in less than 135 days. And you can earn 2.2 returns on your investment daily. Even in your sleep, you don't need to do anything. The people ask me when they finish signing up, say, okay, so what next? What am I going to be doing? You really don't need to do anything. Just leave it. You can be looking into it every day just to see that your money is coming in, but there's really nothing you need to do. You can also invest in these digital assets and make up to 6 or 7 figures in just a few weeks. It is possible. If you look at the table later, you will find out that it's really, really possible to make 6 or 7 figures very quickly. And if you want to become a Bitworld Centre affiliate, you need to join through someone. So whoever introduced you or invited you to this webinar today, you just need to go back to them and say, I'm ready, and they will be happy to show you how. We have a WhatsApp group, and the link is actually on the screen right now. I'm also going to pop it in the chat box for everyone, so you can just click it right now and join the WhatsApp group, so that other things that you need to know about, for example, how to register, how to open your Bitcoin wallet, how to upgrade, because you can start with a lesser package and upgrade later, how to withdraw your money into your local bank account. All these things, we didn't do it on the webinar today, but you need to know how. So the WhatsApp group is where we make sure that all this information is made available to you, so that you don't make mistakes and you are able to do these things, without any form of challenge, because you have somebody to actually show you how. So these are things we've talked about today, and I hope that I've been able to shed light on what Bitworld Centre is all about. So the strategy that we have before us is to invest and refer, or simply just invest. Referring others is optional. You don't have to refer people if you don't want to. But the two strategies that we have here is to invest and to refer. Success loves speed. I say that because sometimes people listen to a very good opportunity like this, they get onto the link, they register, and then they go to sleep. And then 3 weeks time, then they wake up and they say, okay, so how do I pay? You've just lost 3 weeks of earning. So if you want to be successful, you need to take action, massive action, not just taking action, but massive action, and join. You don't have to think about the maximum investment now. Think about what can you do now and start. So be aware that there is a one-time activation fee of $10 added to each package when you're joining as well. But yes, it's an amazing opportunity, and take massive action now. I'd like to round up with these words. Sometimes people ask me that I've been into some other opportunities and I lost money. What's the guarantee that this one is not one like that? And I always share this scripture with them to let them know that We are not asking for a guarantee from Bitworld. That's not what we do. Because many times when you start your own business, say for example, you open a school, who are you going to get the guarantee from? If you open your own clothes shop, who are you going to get the guarantee from? So my guarantee is God. And my guarantee is that I do my due diligence and I make sure that what I am investing is not something that if it goes away, then my whole world comes crashing down. So my advice to everyone is don't invest what you know that you borrowed. It can become a problem if you don't pay back. That's not the kind of investment you want to make. Blessed are those who sow nothing, for they shall reap nothing. So if you are afraid of investing and you don't sow anything, you are not going to reap anything either. In Ecclesiastes chapter 11, and I like the Good News translation, and I'll read it in closing today. What a wise person does. It says, invest your money in foreign trade, and one of these days you will make a profit. Put your investments in several places, many places even, because you never know what kind of bad luck you are going to have in this world. No matter which direction a tree falls, it will lie where it fell. When the clouds are full, it rains. If you wait until the wind and the weather are just right, you will never plant anything and never harvest anything. God made everything, and you can no more understand what he does than you understand how new life begins in the womb of a pregnant woman. Do your planting in the morning and in the evening too. You never know whether it will all grow well or whether one planting will do better than the other. So this is the scriptures. It's not that because every seed grows, that's why we sow. We sow and we sow and we sow. And you will reap. It's just that if you stop sowing, then there's nothing to reap. So that's just my little advice to everyone, that if you're wondering, I've lost before, it doesn't mean you're going to lose again. But you need to keep sowing, and there is actually a time for sowing. Bitworld is actually changing lives, and I'm a beneficiary of it. I wouldn't be doing a video like this if I thought that I'll be putting a lot of people in jeopardy. But I have benefited from it, and I think that it is an opportunity that everyone can benefit from as well. If you follow the rules of investment, don't invest what you know you're not supposed to, you cannot let go if something happens to it. Not with the mind that it will go away, but you need to sleep every night and have rest of mind. So invest with wisdom. Okay. So thank you everyone been on the call with me for up to an hour. This is I'm really grateful for everyone that has been listening. And at this moment now, I'd just like to take questions if there are any questions. So I'm going to unmute anyone on the call so that if you have questions, this is the